Well, how the season ended last year, it's the same way how the season began this year for the Los Angeles Rams. Taking the L to the Detroit Lions in a well fought game. But unlike last season, this season we begin with a key injury to Puka Nacua. All that and more right here on Ramily Talk. Let's talk about it.
Maybe you from the 1970s, when the Los Angeles Rams was known as the Prison Foursome because of that defensive line. Or maybe you in the city of St. Louis, the gateway to the Midwest, where the greatest show on turf brought home the first ever Super Bowl championship. Or maybe you in the here and now, with the Rams back in LA, winners of Super Bowl 56. You can rock Eric Dickerson. You can rock Marshall Faulk, Isaiah Bruce, and Kurt Warner. Or maybe you rocking Cooper Cup, Aaron Donald, and Matthew Stafford. It doesn't matter, because when it comes to this, it's all about the Los Angeles Rams. Horns up, Rams South. Time to talk Rams football.
Good day, Ramley. Good day, Ram Nation. Shout out to all my Los Angeles Rams fans. Shout out to all my NFL fans out there today on this Thursday as we get ready for week 2 of the NFL season with the Buffalo Bills traveling down the South Beach to take on the Miami Dolphins to kick off week 2 of Thursday Night Football. But thank you for joining me for Ramily Talk on this day. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, the Playmaker Sports Network, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. So anytime we do a show, whether it be this for Ramily Talk, whether it be for Shooting Lights Out covering basketball, or whether it be for Bearing Down the Gridiron covering college football, you can catch every show there is we got on the Playmakers Sports Network. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who want to listen to this on your favorite podcast directory, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you can find podcasts on, because we are everywhere when it comes to Ramily Talk. Now, on today's show, we're going to recap what took place at the Motor City for Sunday Night Football with the Los Angeles Rams meeting the Detroit Lions in a rematch of the NFC Wild Card game last year. Key injuries took place in that game, and just to say it started exactly how it finished. Then we're going to preview week 2 as we take the trip to the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals in our first NFC West matchup of the year. So with that being said, let's jump right into it, shall we? Big thing from the news perspective. Ram placed wide receiver Puka Nacua, offensive lineman Steve Oliver, and offensive lineman Joe Noteboom on injury reserve. Signed O lineman Dylan McMahon and O lineman Grayton Jen Christensen to activated rosters, and cornerback Akila Witherspoon to the practice squad. The Rams have placed wide receiver Puka Nacua with the knee injury, offensive lineman Steve Avila with the knee injury, and offensive lineman Joe Noteboom with the ankle injury on injury reserve. The trio will miss at least the 4 games as a result. Those next 4 games for the Los Angeles Rams will be at Arizona, host the San Francisco 49ers, at the Chicago Bears, and hosting the Green Bay Packers. So those are the games missed, and then we have our bye week. So pretty much you can say 5 weeks. Okay, they'll miss 4 games. We have a bye week before we come back from it. So they'll get a good month and a week before they can come back. Additionally, the Rams have signed offensive lineman Dylan McMahon and Grant Christensen to the active roster, and cornerback Akila Witherspoon to the practice squad. McMahon and Christensen's arrival comes after the team signed veteran offensive lineman Ty Niskia to his practice squad on Monday. Man, we got beat up in that game. We was coming into the game with injuries to Joe Noteboom, to another offensive lineman, and we had, I believe, Jonah Jackson. It was suspended for 2 games. And then Puka Nacua, we aggravated that knee injury that he injured during training camp, which really, really sucks. Okay. But it happens, and we got to move on. We got to move forward. We got to do what we got to do. Okay. But yeah, that's the main news from the Ram Nation for today. We're going to jump right into our recap. And our recap begins with the trip to the way our season ended to the Motor City Ford Field, Sunday Night Football against the Detroit Lions. And I predicted that it'll be a close, tight game, but the Rams will find a way to come out victorious. I was wrong. It was a close, tight-knit game. 26 Lions, 20 Rams. Lions 1-0, Rams 0-1. And I ain't know what's to put it. I give the team credit. They was down 17-3 in the third quarter. They fought back to get the 20-17 lead. Detroit was able to get down the field, kick a field goal to send it to overtime. And then in overtime, we got bullied. They bullied us. We got in overtime. Dan Campbell said, let's run the ball and let's get out of here. And they ran the ball the entire way down the field in overtime to win the ball. Matthew Stafford didn't get a chance to see the football. That was sucks, okay? Stafford didn't get a chance to see the ball in overtime. That's the part that hurts more. What would have happened if the defense could have just mustered up one more stop and give Stafford the ball back and see what happens? But nah, Detroit wasn't having it. Detroit, congratulations. You started off the season the way you ended our season with a dub on us. Congratulations. Statistics, you had Matthew Stafford. He went for 34 for 49 passing, 34 for 49 passes, 317 yards through the air, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and inexplicably picked when he didn't see the guy underneath and he threw a red zone pick. Kerryon Williams, 18 carries, 50 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Kupp looked like the old Cooper Kupp, looked like the Triple Crown Cooper Kupp, 14 catches, 110 receiving yards and a touchdown. Jared Goff for the Detroit Lions, 18 for 28, 217, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. David Montgomery, he was the workhorse in overtime. You can say half of his yards came in overtime. 17 carries, 91 yards in the game-winning touchdown. Jameson Williams, boy, that dude there. Yeah, that dude get back to the form he was in Alabama, which looked like he's on his way with what he did against us. 5 catches, 121 yards, and a touchdown. Man, it's tough, but we lost Puka Nacua in the second quarter. We didn't even have him in the second half. Steve Oliver, we didn't have him in the second half. We just beating up, but we fought hard. Defense, our young defense played very admirably. They were playing good until they got bullied in overtime. And that's what happens. They felt they was the stronger team in Detroit, and they proved it in overtime. They was the stronger team, more physical team, and that's how that went. But outside of that, Chris Schuler, your first game calling defensive plays, I commend you. You caught a good defensive game plan. It's just in overtime we got bullied. That's all that is to it. But it happens, okay? It happens. We had 387 total yards to 363 for the Lions. Both teams had that turnover by quarterbacks with interceptions. We controlled time possession, almost 35 minutes of time possession to Detroit's 29, 45 seconds. They was more efficient with the ball than us. Yes, our defense played good. But our offense was not as efficient as it should have been. And that's what really hurt. We was not efficient on the offensive end as we should have been. McVay deciding to go for it on a fourth down instead of kicking the field goal. That proved costly. Even though it can be said Cooper Kupp should have caught the ball because he went right past the cornerback into his hands, and he didn't follow through on that one. That was probably Cooper Kupp's lone mistake of that whole game. Not converted on that 4th and 2. But I still believe we should have kicked the field goal. It was not like the game was out of hand at that point. It was still a close game. Could have kicked the field goal. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, we could have took the lead. If I remember correctly, we could have took the lead. But we didn't do so, and it came back to bite us, and now we sitting here 0-1 to begin the season. All right. With that being said, we're going to take our long commercial break here, and then when we come back, we're going to preview the game in the desert.
I love you morons. New Kids on the Block, New Edition,
Dear whatever the law firm is. Sincerely, the U.S. Supreme Court.
Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Go yourself again, Jason Whitlock.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Into the Net FC. Kylian Mbappe just all of a sudden finally understood his role, and I think he finally understood that everything Kylian Mbappe has accomplished already, there is still a hell of a lot waiting for him in the future. Kylian Mbappe is only 24 years old. He has accomplished so much, and you know what? Kylian Mbappe has not even reached his prime. Finally seeing, the Marcus Rashford we have been hoping for such a long time, But, this game, after everything Manchester United has been, doing lately, this was actually the ultimate test, to see if Manchester United, honestly was all of a sudden for real. I explained this. The United States, maybe they have to suffer this loss as a lesson to learn to prepare for the future. Because 4 years from now, the World Cup is in not 1, not 2, but 3 countries. The United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. Into the Net FC is available on all streaming platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
The largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant. Weather. Devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States. Inspiration. A breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody pigs. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ram. They Talk, as you can see here. Now we move on to week 2 as we head to State Farm Stadium to take on the Arizona Cardinals in Glendale, Arizona. Both teams are coming off losses. As the Cardinals, they took an L to the Buffalo Bills, 28-34. As the same thing, Cardinals at one point had control of the game. They had a 17-3 or 17-7 lead at one point, and then Buffalo decided to find their rhythm to get going, and then they end up winning 34-28. So both teams coming into this game 0-1. As you can see here, Rams open up as a 2.5-point favorites. Now has went to Arizona as 1.5 favorites, probably because of all the injuries that we have on the offensive side of the ball. The reason why Arizona is a 1-point favorite at home. So you will see the over is 48.5. All right. So those for you who are my betting people, those are the numbers that you have on today. Still got a couple more days between Sunday. Those of you who don't, we are playing Sunday at 4:05 on Fox. That'll be 1:05 on the West Coast out in Los Angeles and in Arizona. Now, Kyler Murray was 21 for 31, 162 in the touchdown through the air. He was the leading rusher for the Arizona Cardinals with 5 carries and 57 yards. That's not going to cut it for the Arizona Cardinals. They need James Conner to be efficient, okay? That's like we need Kerryon Williams to be efficient for us so that Matthew Stafford ain't throwing the ball almost 50 times in a game. All right. So we need to be efficient. Both teams need to be efficient. As you can see here, 28 points puts the Cardinals 9th in the rankings in points. As you can see, after week 1, these were the teams stack up as from week 1. But, don't put too much in week 1. Things happen in week 1. So we got to make sure that we keep the proper perspective for it. But I do know how people like seeing rankings and how teams look to other teams in the league. But this is where we at. We are second in passing yards after week 1, 25th in rushing. We need to work on that. Sean McVay, run the ball. Defense had a good outing in week 1 without Aaron Donald being there. So I'm looking forward to see how they see what Chris Shula comes up with the game plan to keep Kyler Murray in the pocket, because when we had Aaron Donald, that was the one man who couldn't stand seeing 99 on the other side because he knew he was not getting away from Aaron Donald. So without Aaron Donald, Kyler Murray feeling some type of way. So hopefully, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Jared Verse, Brandon Fitz, they can, still make life a living hell for Kyler Murray. That's the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals, all right? But we do need to make sure we do better in the run game because we did get bullied, and that's one thing when Arizona does beat us, is because they are running the football. They can run it very well against Buffalo. They will try to run the ball against us with James Conner. So we need to make sure that we show up our run defense so we can be better in the run game, all right? And first, Kyler Murray into third down passes where we can take advantage of it. All right. Here's our injury reports for both teams. Christian Rosewoom is questionable. Tight end Davis Allen is questionable. Kobe Durant is questionable. We already know about Puka Nacua and Joe Noteboom going on IR. For the Cardinals, Xavier Weaver is questionable for the game. Max Milton is questionable for them. Jonah Williams is on IR. Elijah Jones is on IR. And Christian Jones is on injured reserve. None is on injured reserve. All right. Yesterday, we did see that Davis Allen was not a participant in practice. Guard Kevin Dyson was not a participant in practice yesterday. Kevin Durant did not participate. While Havenstein was eliminated participation, but he's still questionable for this game. We already talked about Christian Rosewoom, but he was eliminated participant. So for Havenstein and Rosewoom, we're taking the next step. We still got today. We still have tomorrow and possibly it'll rock through Saturday before we figure out if Havenstein and Roseman will be a go. If Allen, Dotson, and Durant do not see the practice field for the next 48 hours, they probably won't be playing either. So there'll be more injuries to deal with for us Rams fans. And that's something we do not want to deal with, okay? That's something we don't want to deal with. Now, obviously, the national broadcast will be on Fox on Sunday. But for those who will probably be working or won't be able to get to a TV to watch it on Fox, you can listen on ESPN Los Angeles, 7:10 a.m. You can listen to Jack FM 93.1 FM or to Liga 13:30 a.m. Those are your radio stations to catch the Los Angeles Rams in the desert to take on the Arizona Cardinals. I was wrong in week 1. Hope I'm not wrong in week 2. I do see the Rams beating the Arizona Cardinals because I do feel like we own the Arizona Cardinals. We own Kyler Murray, but the fact that Detroit was able to run the ball down our throats in overtime might give the Arizona Cardinals some hope because they love to get physical and they love to run the ball with James Conner. So hopefully Chris Shula will do something to show that defense up. And Sean McVay, please run the ball. Please. Okay. I don't care. I just don't need Matthew Stafford throwing the ball 50 damn times a game. Can he throw 35 times a game and that other 15 can go to running? Okay. Just run the ball. Keep Kyler Murray in that offense cold. Okay. Don't let them get no type of rhythm. Especially after what they're going to see what happened to us against Detroit. They're going to try to run the ball. If Chris Shula calls the game the way that he called against the Detroit Lions, you should be able to call a game that helps the defense be rested. You didn't do that against Detroit. So when overtime came, we got bullied. We don't need to go down 0-2 against the Arizona Cardinals. We do not need to go down 0-2 against the Arizona Cardinals, Sean McVay. So do your job, which you are very good at. You're a Super Bowl champion coach. And make sure we have some balance on Sunday, okay? That's all we ask for. Give us some balance on Sunday. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this edition of Ramily Talk, okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for listening. Let's go Rams. Let's get this done. Let's get the first one on the board so we can start moving towards getting back to the playoffs. All right? Y'all enjoy the game. Enjoy your weekend until next Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Right here for Ramily Talk. I will see you later. Deuces. For tuning into Ramily Talk. Ramily Talk is sponsored by Fanatics, Lids, and Paramount Plus. Get your favorite sports appeal with Fanatics or Lids, and get great streaming service with Paramount Plus. If you want to donate to the program, you can donate to us via Cash App, $D Playmakers. That is again, $D Playmakers. And remember, you can follow and subscribe to Ramily Talk on all podcast directories, including Apple, Google, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. And those of you who are on Apple, leave us a great review, leave comments on how you feel about Ramily Talk and the episode that you listen to. Tune in again next time for more Ramily Talk